Today's the 10th of March, 2024. We're in the bee yard once again, folks, and we're working through our 2 hives. So this first hive is the one that was a impromptu split from our primary hive number 1. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just going through and starting the process today by cleaning off any of the excess comb that they've started building out on top up here. Nothing wrong with it at this point in time, but if I don't keep it managed now, it's going to create problems later on. They are pretty active today. It's sunny. Temperature is about 64 degrees currently. So what we're looking for today is I want to see how they're doing. Since this was an impromptu split that I had no choice in making, at least not much of one, I wanted to see if they have had any progress building up, or if we're going to have to do something with them here in the next week or two to keep their numbers alive. Alright, so first thing I'm looking for is there a queen? My evidence for that would be things like egg cells. Larva would be another indication of a queen. Obviously capped brood. Of course, some of the brood could just be, you know, where whenever we introduced the hive or the frames into it before, maybe they were just left over from that. I'm seeing pollen, I'm seeing nectar, I'm also seeing hive beetles, unfortunately. So that's a bad thing. I can't really get them out without destroying some of the comb, so we're not going to. Instead, we're treating our hive beetle issues by putting Swiffer sheets on top. And that so far has seemed to have a pretty positive impact between both of these hives to help reduce our hive beetle numbers. I'm kind of surprised to see hive beetles this populous though this early in the season. So this is a pretty good little frame. Seeing nectar, still some residual capped brood on this side. Hasn't hatched out yet. I'm not seeing any larvae. So that's another thing I'm looking for, would be larvae. Eggs are something else I'm looking for. Trying to take advantage of the daylight to work to help me locate eggs. Nothing so far on this frame. Alright, this next one they just started building out, it looks like. Trying to be gentle. Of course, they've really propolised these frames inside of this Apimae colony pretty well. So it does make it a challenge whenever you're first pulling these frames out. We're trying not to disrupt them. This is one that was introduced to them recently. They're starting to draw it out. This next frame looks like to be just resources. So mostly just capped residual honey. We will probably be removing that here in about another month. Any of this leftover capped honey, so that we can go ahead and process it out. You see that bee there was actually moving that hive beetle along, trying to get it out of there. And of course, just as I discover them, they want to go and hide themselves. Try to kill these if you can, but don't destroy your comb in the process. And that could be a challenge. A lot of weight to this one. Yeah, we're gonna have to get this honey out that was left over from last season. This is what we gave to them as a way of being able to make sure they were properly fed. I am not seeing any activity from a queen in this box. I'm seeing plenty of leftover honey. I'm not going to tear every single one of these apart. All I want to do right now is I'm just going to take and pop and separate my top and bottom box. If you want to step around here, what I'm going to do is just going to tilt it up, and that's going to see how things are looking in the bottom box to see if I need to really spend some time getting into this bottom box. Not really. I'm not seeing where it's covered with bees. They're on the frames, but they're not like super active. I don't know. Maybe I might have spotted some larvae down there. That's worth a look. So what we're going to do is we're going to pick this up and carry it over here beside us. Smell the honey in this. Smells good. Alright. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to pop these back.
That's old.
Huh?
That's older.
Yeah, it's old comb. So this is all empty. Okay. Nothing in here. Now, if I had a typical Langstroth hive, not these Apimays, I would, huh?
This is the one I think that had the queen cells on it. I'm trying to figure out if this is the one or not. No, it's one of the other ones.
Okay. If I had a typical Langstroth hive where I could just take the bottom box off and snap a new one in or swap them out, I would take that one and put it down here. I don't. So one problem with the Apimays is you can't do that. So you're kind of limited when it comes to that particular issue. They're doing something down here. What are they doing? Well, there's no larvae or anything, so I don't know. That's the main thing I was looking to see. So there's nothing in here. This colony is queenless at this point. I can say that with absolute certainty. There is no queen anywhere in this colony. So good or bad, no queen. So what we're going to do, we're going to put the top box back on here, put our Swiffer sheet back in place, and then close this up. I have more bees on order, so most likely what we will do whenever that time comes is probably do a combination split, combination recombine, okay? So what we can do is I can take and put a double screen board on the bottom down here. I can take all of the new bees and dump them into this bottom section if I want to. Or in the top section, it doesn't matter, either one. And I'll take the other ones, move them either up here or down there. Once that's done, we can give them about a week, maybe 2 weeks to kind of adjust. One thing about these Apimays is they have the ability where you can open up multiple entrance points. So I can have the new bees come in and out of one entry point. I can have the old ones coming in and out of a different one. Give them all time to readjust. They won't be able to hurt each other. They won't be able to commingle unless they fly out and back in. The way we can do that is we can turn it around so that the entry point's on the back. They can still do it. Just makes it more complicated for them anyways. So we do that, give them about a week, maybe 2 weeks to acclimate to one another, and then we remove it, and then now they act as one colony. So that way all these bees get the benefit of having the extra bees to help boost the numbers, grow things where they want to go, because our goal is to turn this into a productive hive this year, not just a nuke. So we want to get this thing growing as fast as we can. We've got lots of frames that are empty right now. That presents a problem. Your small hive beetles love empty space. So what you want to do is you want to get bees in that empty space as much as you possibly can. So remember this whenever you're dealing with working around things like small hive beetles. Try your best to keep a high number of population. Okay, you want as many bees inside of here in this box as you can. So the way you do that is you compress the space. The problem with doing that, of course, is you run the risk of swarming. So it's a balance between the two. You got to be looking out for the swarm cells. Obviously, you want to give them room to be able to grow, room to be able to bring back and store honey, resources, pollen, everything else that they need to be able to continue to function as a colony. But the small hive beetles are your enemy, especially if you live in the south of the United States, which is where we're at. They're a major problem down here. So we got a lot of plans to work on that this year. We'll talk about some of those. But right now, let's get this box back on there. Okay. Carefully put it down. Try not to get any bees. There we go. Now, just going to put these back together again.
Yeah, I already clapped the new side.
Okay.
Fix the hive beetle cloth here.
Yeah, fold that in half.
Yeah, fold it in half.
Yeah, like that. You don't want it occupying the whole thing.
Yes, sir.
Because if it occupies too much real estate, it's going to affect your bees.
Yes, sir.
So.
Alright, we're clamped down over here.
Okay, this is good.
All's well.
They'll start going back in there. They'll leave us alone because we're going to leave them alone.
And all should be good.
This is the hive that was been the active one.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
And there's a lot of bees flying in and out of this hive.
That's a good thing.
It's been a very, I would say, a little hotter hive in some regards. You know, where I have to deal with possible stings and things. Mm-hmm. That's to be expected.
That's what I got stung out of last time.
Yeah, because of just the way in which the numbers are.
We got some bees up here in the sugar.
Okay, that's fine.
They were in there last time too. I was in here. More actually. This is less than what it has been. Okay,
no worries there. What I want to do today is I want to take this and I want to set these out. I want to set these outside the bee yard.
Yes, sir.
Maybe over here on our blocks, because I want to get rid of this sugar. This is what we fed them over the winter to help keep them alive. Oh yeah, we got some hive beetles on that one. I'll come. All right, so they have drawn this out. That's all fresh comb.
It's really pretty, actually.
Yep, they're doing a great job. I'm not seeing any
anything in them, really.
Yeah, so nothing in here right now.
Some hive beetles, though.
So we'll set this to the side. I'll set it right down here. All right. So now, just gonna pop these back. And let's go start taking a peek. And what we're looking for signs of the queen. It's a pretty heavy frame of bees. No eggs.
Some honey, capped honey over there.
Yep, they're on the top. We do have some capped honey. Okay. Pollen. No bee or no larva. So we're just gonna push this over here to the side. There's no larva on here, no eggs, no brood, no reasons to be concerned about that. Got any issues with chilled brood, temperature problems. Numbers are really good.
It's pretty tame today.
Yep. All right, we got capped brood over here, and we have a queen cell that is started to get drawn out, but there's nothing in there. All right, we do have larvae in here. So if you'll look here, you'll see in that cell right there, you'll see some white, almost looks like a jelly. So there's lots of larvae on here. So this is a good frame of capped brood at this point.
Good to see that.
I'm not seeing any eggs over here though.
How did any of the queen cells? That capped brood? That's capped brood. Sorry.
Those are drone cells.
They're bigger.
Yes, they are. Drone cells they look like swollen pimples.
They really do. I want to pop it.
Yep, the swollen pimples, don't pop them.
I won't pop them. It's just they're very tempting.
That's the one thing you deal with this time of year. Move along, little girl. Yes, you deal with this time of year is you want you need your drone cells. You know, you need your drones. Excuse me, your drone brood.
Oh.
All right. Now
This one was a little wild.
Yeah.
Look at the other side too. You'll see it.
Drone brood in it. We have maybe eggs.
They're working behind it too.
Yes, they are. They will do that naturally.
It's really interesting how that works.
All right. I think I'm seeing eggs. Yes, I am.
Is that a beginning of a queen cell right there, sir? If I'm not mistaken.
It is.
Is there anything in it?
It's a queen cup, and no, there's nothing in it.
Oh, man.
Those are what they call emergency or supersedure cells. Now we do have eggs in here. If you look in there, you'll see those little things that look like tiny grains of rice. You see them?
Yes.
Can you?
Yeah, those little ones. They're really tiny. Yes.
Those are
There's two
eggs.
of them in there.
Sometimes, not always.
It's like
sometimes.
like the pinkish one looking one. There's two in
but
them.
those are eggs.
There's something I didn't explain earlier in the past video. That red stuff that
Pollen.
was on those bees was pollen.
Pollen comes in all different. Well, I won't say all different, but it comes. It's not just yellow. Everyone thinks pollen is yellow. Okay. It can be greenish. It can be yellowish. It can be reddish, brownish.
Some broods over here.
Okay, this is a really good frame of brood.
The numbers on there.
Yes. So what we're looking for on this one here, I want to see, are there any, is there a queen here? So this would be a possible. Okay, I'm not seeing any. All right, seeing some eggs, obviously lots of capped brood.
That's a good one to see.
Capped, I'm seeing capped drone brood, which is good. So this is a good frame here that I could use to be able to populate that box behind us, so that we could actually get this one, you know, keep that one going until things are, well, until we have more of our bees in. I don't think I'm going to do that today. I think I'm going to just leave it like it is, and we'll come back to this box again in about a week.
Oh.
Yep.
This side too.
All right, we got another queen cup.
Anything in there?
And, maybe. See if you can get the camera on that one. I think it's hollow. I think it may.
It looks like it's just possibly just hollow. I can't tell.
Okay.
Flip back through the video and we'll see.
That's the one good thing about the
way they're doing that. Building out.
So that is the one good thing about videoing. I recommend, if you got a partner, to video your beekeeping sessions. You can look back on it. I mean, I was able to do that last time to spot eggs whenever I wasn't sure if we had eggs or not.
They're very small.
Yeah, because they are very tiny, and if you're working and the sun goes away while you're working, because it goes behind a cloud, and that happens a lot, then you can end up running into a problem where you can't see things very well.
This is the one that I was telling you they built behind as well. Is there a queen cell there, or is that from drone?
That could be the makings of a queen cell.
Okay.
Yeah, they'll typically build their queen cups like that.
I've got a good bit of them on here.
Of course, we've had problems too where they are really cross-combing like crazy.
Yes.
All right, this is heavy.
That one, yes. So it looks like capped honey over here.
It's mostly just honey.
Nectar and stuff.
Yep, capped honey, nectar, pollen rather, and pollen, but nectar. Lots and lots and lots of that. So it's a pretty heavy little frame. This is a good feed frame right here.
It's good to have a good couple of those.
It is. Okay, and we're getting to the outer part now.
So they don't have much.
Nothing out here really. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that frame that we took out earlier.
Put it right over here.
We're going to stick it right in the middle here.
Encourage them to work over here.
Yep. Now one good thing you can always tell about how your population's doing is by if they are building out comb or not. Your bees that typically build out your comb are your nurse bees. Not always. Your other bees can do it too, but your nurse bees are the ones that are the most prolific when it comes. Whenever it comes time to build out comb, they're the most active at building out comb. All right, where's our lid?
Our lid. Where's our lid?
Right behind you.
All right, here's our lid.
So what we're going to do is we're going to put this on here and give them a roof again.
Because they like their roof.
They like roofs.
I don't blame them. We do too.
Yes. Somebody come and rip my roof off my house, I'd probably be upset at them too.
Oh yeah.
Certainly not going to, avoid stinging them. Now, I want to take the bottom box and take a look at it too. Okay, so with that done.
Whew, some purple, sir.
Yeah.
Not too bad.
No.
Last time it was a bit of a hassle to get off.
So this box is not as heavy as it was before. So they've lost some weight. All right, lots of activity down here, y'all. Look at that.
That's good to see. This is not as active as it was last time, but it's pretty active still.
Well, they're out
Oh
foraging.
wait, no, they were a bunch here. They moved over here more.
Yeah, they were foraging.
that
They're out
means it's a
foraging, so keep that in mind.
Yes, sir. It was a bit cloudy that day too.
Yeah. So what I want to do, having to be careful, whenever you're using these J-hook style hive tools, they're really great about giving you a lot of leverage.
Oh yeah. Sometimes
Problem.
too much.
Whoa, I'm sorry.
Yes.
I'm sorry. Let me go ahead and get me over here because they do not like that at all.
Well, I'm sure not.
They'll give you a lot of leverage here. The problem is that it can break your frames.
Definitely.
So,
Careful with them.
and these bees love to propolize.
Good, bad, and good thing.
I've been listening to a Canadian beekeeper too much. He says propolis, and I say propolis, and I've been picking up his habit. All right, so what we're looking for here is the same. I'm seeing pollen.
Yes.
We got
Catbird
over here.
Hive beetle.
Yeah.
Boo.
Got a queen cup
Oh, that's good. Anything
right
in it?
there, nothing in it. So we're going to set this one down here.
That's the one they're trying to cross cone on.
Yep.
I had to get rid of a lot of it. It's pretty bad.
They really, really, really want to cross common. I don't know what it is about.
These specifically?
Yes, this
you ever had
colony. I've never had bees that would want to build this way,
Ever?
this much. All bees will build however they see fit. I mean, it's our job to encourage them in a certain way, but the reality is that yeah, they're bees. So they're bees. Okay. I'm looking mostly here for eggs.
Eggs.
Honest, I can't tell. Don't look like it.
Just smoke them down
No,
a
it
little
doesn't.
bit.
I'm not seeing eggs. The next thing I'm looking for here is, of course, my queen.
Let's see.
I'm not seeing the queen. I'm seeing cat brood.
Which is still good.
All right. Lots of good numbers. So that's good. Try to use your hive tool just to give it a little bit of push if you need to. Got some cat brood. All right. Could be some eggs.
There's a lot of bees there covering it though. You can't really see.
Yeah, it's hard to tell. So keep an eye out for that queen. Look at that one there dancing. See it?
Oh, I see it. What is he doing?
That's how they communicate. They're telling their sisters where food is.
Do their dancey dance.
Yes, and see, they've actually done some studies and found that one way is to basically communicate distance, and the other one is to communicate trajectory. So where it's at in terms of orientation, they're able to do that with just simple dance moves.
So do they understand north, south, west, and east and all that?
They do understand things like that, just not the way that we do.
Their concepts a bit differently. They didn't like that.
Yeah.
I've been smoking them because they just
This is a very active hive. They're not a...
brood chamber down here is pretty active. That's,
Oh, that's a
brood.
pretty one. Look at that.
That's beautiful.
Good
They did a
laying
good
pattern
job.
there.
Oh, there's some eggs right there.
Are there?
Yeah, be careful. It's starting to move out a little bit when you move it.
They will.
But they have it capped so you don't fall out too much. That is so cool. That's so beautiful.
Did a great job there. Look at the bottom. Looking for queen cells. I'm not seeing any. We've seen queen cups in our top hive box, but we haven't seen any so far in the bottom brood chamber yet. But lots of brood. Now, that's a good thing. It's also a bad thing too, because all these brood are going to be hatching out really soon. And when they do, population is going to go up very quickly. You've got lots of larvae here.
Some larvae over here too, a little bit. A lot of brood mostly, but there's some larvae in there if you look at them.
So the queen has been very active. I'm mostly at this point, haven't seen her yet.
But she has to be in here.
Has to be in here. Haven't seen her. She's clearly very busy woman. So let the busy woman be. Some chaining going on down there. I'm looking for the queen now.
Is she down there?
Not seeing her. I thought maybe, but no. The good thing about this time of year is that we're getting to the point to where we're kind of in that transition between our winter and our spring bees, where we begin to get a lot more nurse bees, which tend to be a little bit more gentle than your winter bees. Yeah, it makes beekeeping a lot better whenever you have gentle bees, obviously. And
I like gentle bees.
Your young bees tend to be the gentle ones. So that's to be expected. Now we're going to take and
I'm just moving
this frame back in here on this side. And be gentle with doing it. What I want to do right now is I really want to try and pull in this direction more. You can quit that with the smoke, honey. That's fine.
They're wanting to get over there. I didn't want you squishing them.
Yeah, I know. There we go. That's in there. No problems there. And now once we have that, try to condense your space, especially if you got bees that are wanting to cross comb, which is what these want to do. Condense that space. Keep down to where it needs to be. Keep your bee space to the minimum. All right. Put it back together.
This is a lot lighter than it was last time.
Yep. Which is fine. That's what we put.
I think it's because we removed the top things of those too, the sugar.
Yeah, it did help. It wasn't just that though. I mean, we took and we added feed frames to these. Remember about a month ago, that had pollen or honey mostly from last year's pull, or actually I should say from January's pull that we did. From the dead out or absconsion, and whenever we did that, we harvested about 2.5 gallons worth of honey out of one hive that I wasn't anticipating getting any out of. That was just wasn't necessary. So I reserved, I don't know, probably another gallon and a half at least worth of frames that we didn't harvest, and we stuck them into these hives to give us feed. Now that one over there still has a lot of food in it that's left over, and it's capped, and that's fine. It's not going to hurt anything. The problem that you could run into, of course, is again you're adding space that's not being occupied by bees, so they can't guard it too well. If they can't guard it, hive beetles, wax moth, any other pest can get in there and wreak havoc inside of the hive. So what we want to do is we want to get all that out, harvest the honey out, put the frames back in. So the queen's got a place to lay, and the bees have got a place to put honey again. Because if they don't have a place, they also get agitated. So this house put back together. We've taken out our sugar, so the bees will return home. They'll come back in here tonight. All will be well. The leftover sugar, we'll probably just go ahead and I don't know. We'll do something with, but it won't go back into the hives at this point. We're in March, there's no point in doing that now. What we can do is, of course, we can mix up some sugar syrup at this point, some light syrup, which will help to encourage continued wax building, which is what we need more of. I don't want to add more frames into these hives right now. I don't want to add another box. This hive could probably use another box at this point. It really could, to go ahead and start drawing things out. The problem, of course, is that by doing that, again, I'm increasing my space, cavity, creating problems where the hive beetles and wax moth and everything else can move in and cause problems. Most of the hive beetles. The wax moths won't touch new comb usually. But whatever there, we're going to need to go through it and eliminate any of the things that have got honey in them, anything that's not currently being used, consolidate that down into one box. That's going to be our goal in our next visit. So today is Sunday, March 10th. We have more bees that are on order, so we can try to get our numbers built back up this season. They'll be in about the 21st, 22nd of this month, somewhere in that range between now and then. So it's about 12 days away. What I will do in about a week, maybe less, I will come back into here and I'm going to remove at least one frame of brood. And we're going to put them in the bottom box over there. And we're going to shake all those bees and put them in the bottom box. And we're going to remove that top box completely. Get rid of it. So new frame of brood, shake all the bees down. That way all the bees will keep the brood warm. All right, they'll make sure the brood's nice and warm. They'll protect it. Whenever they hatch out, of course, they're going to increase the population in that hive, so they can continue doing their job and working the hive the way they need to. Then, whenever the new package comes in, we're going to basically do a kind of like a combination, like a reverse split, where we're going to put the new bees in the top box, and we're going to basically put a layer of separation between them. That way they can't intermingle with each other. We'll open up the outside so that they'll be able to come in and go as they need to. But then we're going to put our sugar syrup in that top box to encourage them to draw out comb and to work on building out their hive to the best of their ability. After about a week of them doing that, then we'll go through, we'll remove the divider at that point so that the bees will be able to act as one functioning hive again. And so now they'll be able to have access to the entire hive. Numbers will start building up, and at that point, we'll also see if the queen's laying or not. So we'll get a complete inventory. Hello, little girl. One little bee right in my face. So we'll get a complete inventory of what's going on in that hive at that point. This hive is still doing strong. We are still seeing issues with hive beetles. That hasn't gone away. They are getting a little bit better. They're not as bad as they were. There for a while, we'd pop the lid and there'd be like hive beetles scattering. So that's a good thing. We still got to maintain that. We still got to keep our eyes out for that. I need to get some more beetle traps in here and get them baited to keep those hive beetle numbers down. So that's it for today. Questions, comments, thoughts, please leave them in the comments below. We'll be glad to try to answer any of your questions to the best of our ability. Our goal this year is to take 2 hives, turn them into about 30 hives by the time the season's over with. So let's make it happen.